This past weekend was All-Star Weekend, so we are going to take the 5 skaters that competed in the fastest skater competition, throw them into NHL 23, and see who the fastest skater is. All right, so if you missed the competition, the 5 skaters that competed in the skills competition, the fastest skater competition, it was Cale Makar, Kevin Fiala, Andrei Svechnikov, Chandler Stevenson, and Dylan Larkin. I'll be honest, I was actually kind of thrown off how, to the point, EA NHL got these speed tests because the times are very similar to what we saw this past weekend in the actual speed competition. So what we are going to do to mimic this competition, we are going to take each skater, throw them in practice mode, get them to do a complete circle around the rink, and whoever has the fastest time, it's simple, they're the winner. We did 2 different type of tests because I wanted to see if using the self-pass that boosts you in the actual game, I wanted to see if it's going to boost their time at all using it and then not using it. So that's how we're going to do it. Each skater will skate around the rink once without any speed boost, just using sprint. And then the second time they go around, they will use one self-pass in that long stretch around the left side. All right, we're starting with Cale Makar, the Colorado Avalanche. Let's see what Cale Makar's got. All right, so we start him at center ice. Circles the net. I tried to stay to the outside of the dot of each face-off. So the first time, you can see, we're just doing a sprint. He's going all the way around, doesn't blow a tire like he did in All-Star Weekend. He probably would have won it, to be honest. And what did he end up finishing with? He ends up finishing with 13:30. All right, going for a second time around the ice. So how we started it too, just to clarify, the second his knee crosses that line, so right here, that knee striking through the line, we start the time. He does his full stretch all the way around, and then right here, we're gonna do that self-pass. The only thing is the puck kind of lagged a bit on him, so I'm not sure if that affected his speed or not, but he gets a very similar time finishing with, and to re-clarify, when they finish is when the puck crosses the line. This is how I did the testing anyway. So the puck crossing that line, he finishes with a 13:30. Pretty much the exact same speed the first time around. So it says 29 there. As you look one frame, we're going to go frame by frame here. One frame further is when the puck actually crosses the line, and he ends up finishing with that 13:30. So Cale Makar 13:30 and 13:30 with a self-pass. On to the next skater, Kevin Fiala of the Los Angeles Kings. We're going to get him going here. His knee strikes through the line, stays outside the dots, wraps around the net, outside the dots, and again, the first time we do it with Kevin Fiala, the exact same thing. We make sure we stay outside the dots, circle the net, no self-pass, and he finishes with a 13:58, which is actually very quick. Second time around for Kevin Fiala, knee strikes through the line, we start the timer. Right at that blue line, he gets a nice clean self-pass off, stays outside the dots, circles the net, and then what do we have him finishing with here? 13:49. So he was able to improve his time by 0.10 of a second. So that's pretty impressive. He got the self-pass a little cleaner than Cale Makar. Cale Makar finished with a 13:30 and a 13:30. So Kevin Fiala, we got finishing with a 13:58 first time around, and then 13:49 the second time around. All right, our third skater on the ice, we have Andrei Svechnikov. Knee strikes through the line, the timer starts. I will say, he did seem like the slowest skater out of all of them to start, but he felt the most natural to skate with. Like, you felt his movement when you're controlling him. It felt very realistic. I will say that. All right, so first lap around for Andrei Svechnikov finishes with a 14:14. And then second time around for Svechnikov, very similar thing. He definitely skates a bit slower, and he ends up finishing with a 14:14. So a 14:14 first time around for Svechnikov, second time around the exact same time with the self-pass. So it wasn't able to boost him up a great amount. I do find when you are using that self-pass online, you're using it in scenarios to break free, right? You're not necessarily in a full sprint using it and boosting forward, and you're not seeing a great result unless you're using somebody like Dylan Larkin, Connor McDavid, Cale Makar. But most players, if you're in a full sprint, that self-pass doesn't do a great amount. You'll certainly notice a difference, but it's not like the difference it's going to make when you're using Connor McDavid, for example. So moving on to skater number 4. We got Chandler Stevenson of the Vegas Golden Knights. Just a sprint skate all the way around, same deal, around the dots, around the net, avoiding any contact with the face-off dot, finishing with a 14:13. So literally by a millisecond, he beats Svechnikov's first time, which takes us to his second time around. He ends up finishing with a 14:28, which takes us to our very last skater, Dylan Larkin. Knee strikes through the line, get him around the dot, cleanly around the net, cleanly past the dot, you can tell, like, Dylan Larkin is so fast in this game. It's actually kind of crazy. Every time he got an open stretch of ice, even without a self-pass, you could feel the acceleration. He ends up finishing with a 13-14 first time around, which is the fastest time we have seen yet, in case you are wondering. It's hard to keep track of all the times, I know, but I have them tracked down here, so don't worry about it. We'll touch base on the times later on in the video. Dylan Larkin, second time around. Knee strikes through the line, outside the dot, around the net, super clean, around the dot. Beautiful self-pass. Around the dot and around the net takes Dylan Larkin with a 13-14 yet again for Dylan Larkin. So, ladies and gentlemen, Dylan Larkin, out of all these players, he was the fastest player to circle the ice both times, without a self-pass and with a self-pass. Now, the one thing I didn't want to touch on before we did these speed tests was the ratings of the players, because I wanted you to just think of who the fastest player is. Now, for me, throughout playing the game, throughout seeing who the fastest is and playing against opponents, Cale Makar has always been the fastest. The second that guy gets open ice in NHL 23, it's game over unless he gets hit. It is absolutely game over. But because I love stats, because I love the analytics of NHL 23, I'll be honest, I dig into these things and I really enjoy understanding what makes these players so much faster than the other, or so much better than the other. These are things that I look at. So I did record them and we're gonna go through them right now. Cale Makar has a speed of 96, an acceleration of 96, an agility of 86, and a 5-star skating rating in NHL 23. What the purpose was to record this for each player is to see how they're affected by the ratings that they are given in this game. So that's Cale Makar. Moving on to the second skater, Kevin Fiala. He's got a 90 speed, a 90 acceleration, 90 agility, and a 4-star skating rating. Andrei Svechnikov, 88 speed, 88 acceleration, 89 agility, and a 4-star skating. Chandler Stevenson was given an 87 speed, 87 acceleration, 87 agility, and a 4-star skating rating. Dylan Larkin was given a 93 speed, 93 acceleration, 91 agility, and a 4-star skating rating. So just going based off ratings, if we were to go who's the fastest, who is the slowest out of all 5 players that competed in the competition this past weekend, Cale Makar is number 1, Dylan Larkin number 2, Kevin Fiala number 3, Andrei Svechnikov number 4, and Chandler Stevenson would be number 5. But in the competition that we did today, we had Dylan Larkin number 1 with a 13.14 time, Cale Makar with number 2 with a 13.29 time, Kevin Fiala came in at number 3 with a 13.49 time, Andrei Svechnikov came in at number 4 with a 14.12 time, and Chandler Stevenson came in at number 5 with a 14-13 time. Here in NHL 23, Dylan Larkin is without a doubt one of the fastest players, and here today, he is the fastest player in NHL 23. That will be today's video, redoing the All-Star Speed competition that they did this past weekend with the 5 skaters. In future videos, we will do different skaters and test it out. If you are interested in more entertaining NHL 23 content, I will link 2 videos below, and if you are looking to get better at NHL 23, here's a helpful tips video right there on screen for you.